1 minute now until we get the market on open imbalance. Ten seconds. Market on open imbalance. S&P 500 buy side 223 million, Nasdaq 100 sell side 21 million, Dow 30 buy side 27 million, Mag 7 sell side 25 million.
Oh.
Cerebras shares tumble 16%, the most intraday since June 24th, following their earnings last night.
I don't know, man. I don't even know. I really don't know. I don't know what that was about. I don't know. I don't even have. I had this thing locked. So it's a mystery how this thing even did this.
Cisco System shares fall 7.8% following the company's Q4 results yesterday.
All right, I got the profit target hit on that. I don't know what the hell just happened with this thing though. I really don't know. I really don't. All right, so I'm done trading in this account for the week. I don't trade my funded accounts on Fridays, so I'm done with this account for the week though. I'm just glad that I was able to end the week with a green day. I'm grateful for that. After having a challenging morning with silver, me and silver was going at it for real.
Shares of US PC makers rise after
She wanted to
China's
take my money.
Lenovo beats on their Q1 estimates. We've seen Dell up 3.6 and HP up 8.6% in sympathy here.
What the hell? Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Don't know why that. I don't know why that did that, but I guess it did. That's why I did that. I'm sitting here messing with this thing while the market is going crazy right now. Having to mess with this damn thing. Like, all right. Sorry about that. Don't know why I did that, but Let's hope that doesn't happen again. But yeah, anyway, sorry about that. I was able to get a profit target. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show it. Sorry I wasn't able to show it, but I got in at the pullback to the 21 EMA here. The pullback to 85.75 was my entry. I captured this move right here, and then I turned around and captured this move right here. So I am up this morning on both of my funded accounts, and I won't be trading them tomorrow. So I was able to end this week up $2,100 on my Tradeify account, and I'm up about I think like $600 or $900 in my other account that has a 40% consistency rule. So both of these have a consistency rule that I have to adhere to. So. You finally got over the buffer? Well, you were implementing a lock yourself out for 1 hour rule after you get over the buffer. I think you should do that. I think you should do that, Alfred. I think you should lock yourself out, because if you're thinking right now, we all know when you start thinking, you'll lose money. All right, so I'm just gonna go on to the next account. I'm gonna go to my Tradeify account. On my Tradeify account, my other one. All right, so we're gonna pull back here. Let's get dangerous and buy another. 98.75. Huh? 98.75. All right. 98.75. All right. So I'm gonna get in at 98.75, but this could be dangerous because we did overcome, or we did break above yesterday's opening range balance. We did break above that. Let me look at the MBO data. There's a lot of orders sitting at 800, so I think a lot of people try to sell 800. A lot of people try to sell 800, so there's a lot of orders sitting there. Mm. Damn. I think that that'd be something that automatic. Ask to do that. Damn, I should have took that bounce at 800 because my MBO data showed that it was going to bounce at 800. I just didn't believe it. It had about over, I think it was like over 300 orders at that level, but I thought that it was gonna run it. I thought it was just people that was, well, I guess that would make sense, right? I honestly thought that it was just people trying to get out of their positions, but I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? They're trying to get out. So 820 is a level that they got some orders stacked as well. You took the long. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the market is going to start trending here. We had so much consolidation last night. We had so much consolidation. I'm pretty sure that we're just going to see the market just push higher here. There's no. There should be no doubt. So it looks like they're building up orders at 500 or 820 on ES. Let's see what they're doing on. Let's see what they're doing on the Nasdaq here. Yeah, the Nasdaq is going crazy right now. Looks like this thing can go to. They got some order stacking at 200. I'm pretty sure the market will just fly past that, but if I trusted the you know what, I hate saying that, but if I trusted the data that I'm paying for or that I paid for, I would actually be in this.
The Nasdaq 100 rises 1%, S&P 500 gains around 0.6% following the market open this morning.
I mean, right now we're knocking up on the value area high right now. Okay, yeah, I see why they're trying to I see why. Oh shit, the new orb has officially formed here for the ES. We have about like an hour still for the initial balance for the Nasdaq. And we are bumping up into a potential area where the market could project back into the range, but we'll see. But I would not dare short. 807. Okay. So either we can be no, we're going to be patient. We're going to be patient here. We're going to be patient. If we can get the market to come back to the orb, we'll take that. But if not,
the S&P 500 hit an intraday record high, last up 0.6%.
All right, so if the market pulls back to about 804, I'm willing to participate in a potential long. We'll see what happens here. Give me 1 second.
IBM shares rise 1% after the company announces a partnership with OpenAI.
Nope, no pullback. No pullback. You know, today, days like today, these are the days that.
And US Treasury 2-year yields extend their fall, hitting the lowest since mid-July, last down around 6.2 basis points at 4.136%.
All right, so we got a bunch of resistance at 820. We'll see. I'm not going to blindly short it because there's resistance here. I want to see that pattern first. I want to see some exhaustion from the bulls here because this is a very strong move. The market literally consolidated the entire session last night. Or shit, actually. Never mind. Actually, the ES trended. The ES trended all night. Interesting. Huh. Did the Nasdaq do the same thing? So the Nasdaq consolidated all night and then exploded. It's interesting that the ES is the stronger of the pair and that the Nasdaq is ranging more than trending. We are definitely in an alternate universe, right? A different timeline, as they say on social media. Everybody's in a different timeline. Apparently, we're in a timeline where the Nasdaq is the one that ranges and chops, and the ES is the one that leads the market. Go figure. Go figure. That's not true. Yeah, well, it's looking like we're seeing some resistance here. It's looking like we're starting to see some resistance at SD1 here for the ES. For SD1, and there it goes.
The S&P 500 continuing to extend gains out of the open here. We're up 0.7%.
I know as soon as I buy this thing's gonna drop. As soon as I buy this damn thing. So this is what I'll probably do.
So we've had no news since the PPI data this morning. So we're seeing here traders are driving stocks higher as bond yields are falling, as there's more evidence of moderating inflation, which is helping to reinforce bets that the Fed will refrain from raising interest rates next month. So again, Treasury 2-year yields, which are more sensitive to imminent Fed moves, have dropped 6 basis points this morning to around 4.14%. And we've also seen money markets price in about a 35% chance of a September Fed hike, which is down from roughly 50% earlier this week.
We're getting into, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this.
Brent crude futures extend losses, last down over 3% as investors assess Gulf supply and oil demand.
Not going to chase. I'll just wait for the pullback here. I know the pullback is the better trade here. So I'll just wait for the pullback. We're sitting on hands right now. Yeah. Hold on. Give me one. Yeah. The brain definitely does play. I thought I heard somebody was sitting there trying to open the damn door, or my daughter trying to open the door. Hey, you must want to get your ass one. Okay. Wow. Wow. So there's a call wall. There's a call wall at around 847 on the ES. There's a call wall at around 520 on the Nasdaq. This thing's not even showing a put wall or anything. Just showing a call wall at 520. So I would have that marked out on your charts and see how the market reacts to that. We have a flip zone at 29,665, so it'll go from being in a positive environment All right, so usually what they say how we should interpret this is if we're in a positive environment, the market usually ranges. But if we're in a negative environment, the market usually that's when we start to see these rips. Well, yeah, like I said, Alfred, there's a call wall. Oh, okay, well, never mind. It just changed. There was a call wall at 500. Now the call wall is at 100. We just broke through the call wall, so yeah, I guess this thing can just continue to go higher here. I guess. Like I said, I'm still kind of figuring all this option data out. I will be doing my homework over the weekend. I think Muhammad gave away the secret sauce of, and it's not necessarily a secret. It's just once you, I guess, you begin to understand options at a deep level, and you understand what really makes this futures market move is the option market and the Greeks. I guess the assumption is that you can take really great trades, have really small risk, and you can have really big reward. I guess if you can combine that with order flow and have those tools have a synergetic relationship, the gamma and all this other stuff tells you where price is unlikely to push past or push under. When price enters those areas, we look at the order flow and see if we're seeing the exhaustion. And if we like what we see, we can take the trade with high probability that it'll work. But at least in my case, and I'm pretty sure, a lot of people actually experience this themselves. It's not just the tools. These tools will tell you where you need.
Fitch ratings say US private credit default rate remains at a record high in July 2026.
These tools will tell you where you need to be at. What's going to be the biggest blocker of these tools is your belief in them. For me personally, I spent a lot of money on these tools. I'll look at the levels and my initial reaction is like, yeah, that's too good to be true. I'm not going to believe it, and I'll trade against it, which is kind of insane. If I'm going to trade against these things and do what I wanted to do anyway, I might as well just should have saved the money and not
we have
bought
posted the article by Fitch ratings on the feed for those interested.
If I trusted this chart because it had so much orders sitting at 800 for the long, right here, it literally just bounced. Barely any drawdown, barely nothing. And I mean, obviously I wouldn't have captured this entire move, but at least I would have caught something. Would have caught something. So I'm definitely gonna do my homework over the weekend. I'm going to continue to do my homework. Because apparently, if you want to be good at trading futures, you have to understand options, apparently. So, But so far, we got the breakout above the initial, not the initial balance, but the opening range for the ES. Right now, we're kind of bumping up against the previous level of supply. I'm pretty sure it will continue to go. I'm hoping for a pullback. I'm hoping for a pullback here. Hoping for a pullback because I know as soon as I get in long on this thing is just going to drop right back down. Oh shit, actually, is ES at all-time highs again? Look at that. ES is at all-time highs again. That is interesting for the ES. That is interesting. ES is at all-time highs again.
Gilts advance with the UK 10-year yield falling 5 basis points to around 4.92%.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it'll get there today. Or probably by the end of this week. I mean, we had a bigger reaction. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Never mind. I was about to say something, but if you were listening to the Squawk Box, he kind of answered that question. This move is happening because people are now, or speculators are confident that the Feds will not raise rates. And that's why we're seeing such a big move. And I guess that would explain why we saw all the consolidation during the last night's session. Nice.
CNBC reports that a Databricks wraps a $5 billion funding round at a $190 billion valuation. This is an AI company, again, Databricks.
I swear these people just be making up numbers.
US stocks extend gains with the Nasdaq up 1%, and we're also seeing traders no longer fully pricing in a Fed rate hike this year.
All right. We'll just keep on keeping it on, I guess. Hoping that we can kind of get a not necessarily a trend break, but we can just get a pullback so we can participate. Well, so we can continue to participate. Get another round, I guess. It's over. All right. All right, let's see. We're finally getting what looks to be a pullback, but do not be fooled here. This is not an opportunity to go short. I swear, dude. I fucking swear. I swear, man. And that's $2,000 over the buffer? If so, congratulations, Alfred. Congratulations. Man, look at that BS, man. Look at that BS, dude. Man, that shit still missed me by like a couple of ticks. I don't know why the market tries to just. I don't understand. Why I just can't.
In 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, we see the release of the weekly EIA natural gas storage change. The forecast is for a build of 31 BCF on the prior build of 33 BCF. $3.86. Damn, he is. So there's a comment now from the Texas Governor Abbott, who says that Microsoft is going to comply with data center standards.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay. I guess we just have to continue to be patient here. Unless you want to aggressively get into the market, you have to be continuously patient. Just imagine, dude, we was literally at the bottom. We was at the bottom of this leg. You know, that is the most difficult thing. Literally in at 85.75. 85.75. Wow. About 49 points to the upside, just about roughly, without really thinking about it. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would keep the. Yeah, Alfred. It's pretty obvious that you're. Anxious is the word I'm looking for. Anxious. You're at the goal. You got over the goal, and now you're trying to get the
In
biggest
5 minutes
payout
time
possible.
now, at the bottom of the hour, we see the release of the weekly EIA natural gas storage change, forecast 31 BCF on the prior 33 BCF.
Dude, what the hell? Yeah. Damn. Damn. All
1
right, so
minute remaining.
we got 1 more minute until the initial balance. All right, man.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds.
A build of 36 BCF. A build of 36 BCF, higher than the expected build of 31 BCF.
All right. Well. Damn. Hmm.
Spot gold falls nearly 1%. And we have posted the natural gas weekly storage report on the feed.
Shit. Hmm. Hmm.
UK MTO report that commercial traffic through the Strait of Hormuz remains at reduced levels. Independent tracking data indicated suppression, with single-digit numbers of tankers transiting in both directions. They also note that IRGC harassment and surveillance of merchant shipping continues, including hailing, UAV overflights, and targeted monitoring, despite no confirmed attacks in the latest period.
I know as soon as I go long, man, this shit's gonna drop. I know it.
They also note that kinetic activity continues on the southern Omani approach via Lima, Kasab, and Kumzar, including projectile strikes and near-miss explosions.
Interesting.
They also note that risk from drifting or uncharted mines remains around Hormuz traffic. They do also add that southern Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb commercial traffic remains reduced following the July 20th Houthi declaration of a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia. So again, this is coming from a UK MTO report.
So a sell iceberg just popped up right here at these highs. A sell iceberg just popped up right there at those highs.
Sources say that Ukraine sent an offer to Russia for both sides to halt attacks on civilian targets in the Black Sea. Ukraine's offer was transmitted to Russia via a third party, and it has yet to receive a response, according to a source.
Man, I don't know, man. Man, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know, honestly, I look at a silver chart sometimes and when I see the setups, like I'm always looking for the breakout pullback. I don't know why it's so elusive. I don't know why. I do not know why the breakout pullback is so elusive. I look at it and it's like, okay, it's not there yet, so I gotta wait for it. And then I don't think about silver. I come back to it, and all of a sudden, there is the freaking breakout pullback out of nowhere, and I freaking miss it. Dude, it's out of nowhere, like all the time. I don't understand how that happens. Sometimes it usually happens when I just want to take a trade. Like I feel like I'm not performing at the level that I know I can perform at. I want to put some green in some accounts and more accounts. I was able to put money in both of my funded accounts this morning, so I am grateful of that. And I guess I want my next hit, so I'm looking for and I'm being patient for the next trade. And when I look at the charts and see that the market has already done what I'm looking for, it's like, how the hell did I miss that? How the hell did I miss that?
In an official statement, Canadian Minister for US Trade will meet US Trade Representative Greer on Thursday afternoon.
So I wonder why they feel the need to do that.
Super Micro shares up 10.3% after a 19% jump in the previous session.
Okay. So I don't think the 21 EMA holds here. I don't think it holds. I think we're going to see a pullback. Don't know how deep this pullback's going to be, but I do believe we see a pullback. Oh, there it goes. There goes the pullback. Hopefully we can see a reaction at this 15-minute imbalance here. About 14 ticks. About like 27 ticks right there. It bounced there. You would have had to have taken profit like right there. And then okay. This could be an opportunity right here. If we can get a strong candle, shit. If we can get a strong candle here, I mean, all right, fine, we'll get in. I mean, this thing has been pushing higher for whatever reason. But what I won't do though is this thing is gonna go higher than I guess we are kind of close. We are kind of close though. I don't know. I'm not gonna give this position any grace. Of course. Like I said, I'm not going to give this position no grace. Either a bounce here, or I want to be immediately stopped out of this. Nice. Nice one of yours. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, you know.
Fed's Barkin says the US labor market is imbalanced but vulnerable. It's hard to know whether rates are restrictive. It's helpful to policy if markets understand Fed's thinking. I agree that too much forward guidance constrains the Fed. I don't see the labor market as strong as numbers suggest.
I guess that would explain why we're seeing the drop.
Also, Fed's Barkin says that businesses generally don't like to do layoffs and would prefer to avoid it, even if they're cautious about hiring. I do believe in theory that if you help people understand the reaction function, it helps markets do their job, but I also think that guiding too carefully leads to constraints. Also, do worry about how long consumer spending can hold up at the lower end. Fed's Barkin says net job impact of AI is less an issue than the reallocation across jobs that it may require. AI use cases do not seem mature enough yet to lead to large reductions in headcount. Fed's Barkin says that the Fed is not currently in a forward guidance place.
I mean, that makes so much sense, right? All right, let's see if we can get at least a retest of this high right here. See what we get. Or if the market is going to be nasty and unnecessarily dump. But so far, so good on the entry. So far, so good. Buyers are buying here. Let's see if we can get some follow through. God damn. Let's see if we can get some follow through here. Okay. Well, not looking so good so far. Hopefully this thing bounces here. If not, I'll get stopped out. We have a 15-minute imbalance that's sitting right there. Let's see if the market will hold. We have a 15-minute imbalance.
So
right there.
Tasnim News, citing Lebanese U News, said that Tehran threatened to target 100 strategic sites in Damascus if it intervened in Lebanon.
Okay.
It's further detail then from Tasnim citing Lebanese News that Iran informed regional capitals Ankara, Baghdad, Doha, and Riyadh that any Syrian adventure against Hezbollah would turn into a widespread regional confrontation in Syrian territory.
Hey, what's up, GK Trace? Well, the trend is broken. The structure is still bullish, but the trend is broken. A14. Should I sell this green candle? The market is broken structure on the 1 minute, but the market is at structure on the 5 minute. It is at structure on the 5 minute. I don't trust going short, not with all this bullish momentum, unless I see some exhaustion. But well, the initial balance is formed, at least on the Nasdaq. We have a failed breakout of the initial balance high. Well, I guess we have to sit on hands on this one. I made an attempt to trade with the trend, and the trend was not my friend in this moment. The trend was not my friend. All right. So now it looks like the trend has ended, but let's see what it does at this 21 EMA on the 5-minute. I will always take a trade at VWAP. Actually, let me actually just put the limit order at VWAP. Actually, I will always take a trade at VWAP. Okay. You know, honestly, I would agree. I think the market is trying to rotate down. There's a lot of negative gamma in these last couple of candles. So there's a lot of selling pressure in these candles. With this bullish push up, man, it's going to be a gamble to try to short this thing. Will be a gamble to try to short it. Okay, well, I guess I'll take the gamble. I'll short this. I'll short it. I have the balls to short this. Oof. We are seeing the push off of the 21 EMA off the 5-minute though. That is always tough to trade against though. All right, so I guess let me see how this candle closes. There's 1 more minute until it closes. We'll see how it closes. But that's definitely a push off the 21. You know, if I can get a push up to this area, all right, we can get a strong close. I mean, this is looking pretty decent. We'll see how the next follow-up candle opens. We'll see.
So the US Treasury out to auction $92 billion in 3-month bills. So these are on August 17th to settle on August 20th. Also $16 billion in 20-year bonds, August 19th, settling on August 31st. $8 billion in 30-year tips, August 20th, to settle on August 31st as well.
I would be in right here at 25, so like, okay. So 100 EMA. Yeah, these iceberg orders. Oh yeah, what's up, investors? Damn. I guess that's safe to say that the bulls have gone home. I guess that's safe to say, huh? Kind of hate this, honestly. You just couldn't you couldn't stand the fact that all these unclaimed
AMD
points.
plans to raise as much as $5 billion from a debt offering. So again, AMD planning to raise as much as $5 billion in what could be the chip maker's biggest ever investment grade bond sale, adding to a wave of debt tied to the artificial intelligence boom. It's worth noting here that no final decision has been made on the offering's size, which could change based on demand, according to people familiar with the matter.
Hmm. And there was little to no indication that this drop was going to happen. Little to no indication. Hmm. Mm. I'm not paying $300 for shit. $300 a month is insane. $300 a month is insane. No indication that this drop was going to happen. The only indication that I saw is that they had a
Yemen's Houthi-run Saba news agency says the group targeted an Aramco refinery in Saudi Arabia's Jizan with 2 drones.
There was a iceberg order in this range right here, but no indication that we was going to see a drop like this whatsoever. I guess the only indication is that if you kind of draw a fib, it hit SD1, SD2. It hit the 200% and then it dropped. It actually ran the 200% and then it dropped. Actually, I forgot. I'm going long at VWAP. And that'll probably be my last trade if it doesn't work. Going long at VWAP. I will always take a VWAP trade on the ES. Always. Win or lose. The VWAP trade is such a good trade. There's really no reason to ever not try. It's never a reason to ever not try on the ES. Dang. Dang, Top Step is now dropping that 250K account. You know, honestly, someone brought up a good point, and I think it's a really good point. It actually turned me off from actually purchasing more of these accounts. Actually, someone said that this account the max you can make is 25K, right? You have a $5,000 daily loss limit, and you have to make at least $1,000 a day as a minimum on the funded side. By the time you probably get to a payout, if you're not just getting the minimum, Top Step could just send you to live. Especially if you're showing that you're consistently if there was a guarantee that I can get my full 25K before being sent to live. I was about to say, what the hell is this thing talking about? Then I probably won't get any more, but actually, you know, I won't need to get any more. I'm not spending $500 on these accounts. But yeah, that would be my biggest concern. Because I see a lot of traders, they have really big days, or they're ready for a payout, and before they get to the payout, they get hit with we're transferring you to live email before even receiving the payout. And I think that's like the biggest punch in the face that a prop firm can do to a trader. Yeah. It's insane when you really just think about the numbers, honestly. If you're successful, you still don't win. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Hey, give those now. Give that to me now. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I definitely agree, Alfred. I definitely agree. Like I said, I'm not interested in big accounts anymore, but that was a great offer to pass up at the time. $500 for 10K in drawdown. I'm halfway to goal. Mm. I mean, this will be a big retracement. Not one thing, it's something else, huh? It's not one thing, it's something else.
So keep in mind, we have seen oil prices just pairing their losses after the release of the Yemen's Houthi-run Saba news agency headline. As again, the Yemen's Houthis have targeted an Aramco refinery in Saudi Arabia's Jazan with 2 drones.
Man, I don't. Why can't this just be on demand? Okay. Yeah, after I get off stream today, I'm definitely going to, I guess, dive deep into all this option stuff. And it seems like I have 1 million hours of material that I have to go through. Investor Z, he's talking about the 250K account with from Top Step. They dropped it again. They dropped another release. Oh shit. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Hold on.
US Defense Secretary Hegseth on Iran says the US can hold the blockade as long as needed.
Damn it.
After reports that say the Houthis targeted Aramco refinery in Jazan Brings us now 10 minutes away from the bottom of the hour, where the US is due to sell $110 billion in 4-week bills. The prior high yield was 3.64%, and the prior bid to cover was 2.
All right, man. And shit, that's the only thing we have to go on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Looks like VWAP is lining up with the orb high. All right, we'll see. This will be my last trade, though. This will be my last trade. If this doesn't work out, then I'm gonna have to come back. Have to reassess, come back. Now silver wants to move. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Well, I mean, looking back in hindsight, I mean, would I taken a trade like this? Probably not. Probably wouldn't have taken a trade like that. But those trades do seem to be really good trades when the market
in 5
breaks
minutes
from
time now at the bottom of the hour. The US is
Anyway, when the market breaks from the EMAs and they pull back, that first test is the best test. It seems like, if I just trust in that, I guess. But man, that's kind of hard to trust, because man, you get a break right here, and that's hard to trust, man. That's hard to trust. That is hard to trust. That's like the biggest thing in this market, is being able to trust in these moves. But and I guess if you're getting, the market is trending, it breaks, a failure to go above the EMA, the first close below it, I mean, I guess it'll work. And look at the ES or the Nasdaq. I probably should have put a but that's only like 30 points though. Probably should have put a sell limit. All right, it looks like I could be getting tested here. Of course it missed. Of course it missed it. I'm getting in at a VWAP. This is a VWAP trade if it fills the order. Okay. All right, so we got the fill for VWAP. The VWAP entry.
Wall Street Journal reports that the US is Washington to the Middle East in order to replace the USS Abraham Lincoln as part of a previously scheduled rotation plan, according to US officials familiar with the matter. The article by the Wall Street Journal is on the feed for those interested.
All right, let me see. Let's see if this thing is going to support here.
It's a downturn. So we're now shortly expecting the results from the US 4-week bill auction.
Okay. I'll give this a few more minutes and I'll tighten up my stop, and I'm just, I guess whatever happens, happens, but I guess all the late buyers are being used to fuel this market lower, which sucks. This sucks. I don't know why this feels like we're trading a Friday for whatever reason. Shit.
Four-week high rate of 3.625%, 3.625% with a bid to cover of 2.77, 2.77. So the US selling $110 billion.
All right, guys.
And awarding
out of time for this session.
79.23% of bids at high.
All right. It's not looking good for this position. It's not looking good at all. But like I said, I'm gonna let it run. But I do appreciate everybody that joined me this morning. I will definitely come back later on tonight, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.